Benjamin Impossible. Chapter 3. Mechanical Menace.
"Mission incomplete,"
the robot said with a raspy voice.
"Must deliver package. All witnesses will be deactivated."
Benjamin stepped back in surprise. The robot's eyes grew brighter. They suddenly flared with intensity, and Benjamin jumped out of the way. Twin beams of laser light shot out of the eye sockets and struck a stuffed unicorn, right behind where Benjamin had been standing. The toy unicorn ignited with energy and white stuffing exploded outward. "Whoa, dude!" Benjamin cried out with surprise. "This is some kind of evil, dysfunctional robot. Water from the sprinkler system must be making it short-circuit. That or this guy really hates unicorns." Benjamin jumped away as the robot advanced toward him. The robot held onto the cardboard box and limped in his direction. Its head continued to hang at an odd angle, as if the mechanical neck was damaged. Water from the sprinklers sprayed down unnoticed by the automaton as it shambled toward the boy with its demonic, glowing eyes. "Holy smokes, you are creepy looking," the boy muttered. Benjamin dodged as the robot's eyes brightened and another laser blast shot past him and destroyed a rack of video games. Benjamin jumped up, shooting 20 feet skyward, to grab one of the rafters in the ceiling. He held on and looked down at the robot. The mechanical beast searched left and right, looking for Benjamin. Then the robot looked up, spotted the boy, and the glowing eyes brightened again. "I've got to put those laser eyes out of commission," Benjamin thought. "I'm fast, but I can't outrun a laser beam." The boy let go of the rafter, just as the robot shot another blast. As Benjamin dropped, he pulled out his gas blaster and chambered a ball filled with squid ink. Benjamin's feet hit the ground, and he immediately jumped back into the air, cartwheeling away. As he flew through the air, he pointed his blaster at the robot and fired. The projectile shot forth and struck the robot between the eyes. The ball of squid ink burst open on impact, coating the robot's face with black ink. Giant squid ink was powerful stuff. It was the darkest pigment in the known universe. Squid used their ink clouds to escape from predators in the wild. A single drop could turn an entire swimming pool of water into a black, cloudy mess. Benjamin knew the ink would also keep this robot from seeing and using his laser eye blaster. The robot's face would probably melt off if he tried to laser through that ink. The robot ground to a stop, acting surprised, its face splattered black. It turned its head from left to right but couldn't see Benjamin at all with the ink covering its eyes.
"Optical image malfunction,"
the robot droned. Benjamin laughed in triumph and taunted the robot, pinching his nose with his fingers. "Is it me or does it ink in here? You can't see me now, ink face." The boy's smile soon faded. A compartment on top of the robot's head slid open, and a small antenna dish rose up. This dish spun around, scanning the room.
"Radar guidance system initialized. Reacquiring target,"
the robot droned. "A radar antenna?" Benjamin asked. "You've got to be kidding me." The robot's radar vision detected Benjamin, and the mechanical man walked toward him, trampling over a pile of wind-up toys and knocking over a shelf of bicycles. Benjamin jumped out of the way again, narrowly avoiding being kicked by the robotic juggernaut. "Holy mackerel!" Benjamin exclaimed. "This thing can't be stopped!" The robot grabbed a bicycle and threw it at Benjamin, who was forced to somersault out of the way, almost slipping on a skateboard that had fallen underfoot. The bike flew through the air and crashed through a window, falling away into darkness outside to land on a police car parked below. "I need a weapon to neutralize this thing," Benjamin muttered to himself. He was beginning to regret using the lollipopper on the locked door above. Explosive candy would have come in handy against this mechanical monstrosity. Benjamin searched around. Stuffed animals, drum sets, action figures, none of this stuff seemed very useful. Along one wall, he saw a collection of sports equipment. "Aha!" he exclaimed, running to the equipment and picking up a baseball bat. "You obviously don't know how to operate a bicycle. How are you at sports?" He picked up a baseball, tossed it up in the air, and thwacked it with the bat. It was a perfect line drive, flying straight toward the approaching robot's head. Unfortunately, the robot detected the approaching ball with its radar. It moved its head slightly to the side, and the baseball shot by, flying into a display of superhero figurines. "Strike one!" Benjamin called out. "Bet you can't do that twice!" The boy picked up another baseball and hit it with all his strength. It flew so fast through the air that Benjamin knew the robot couldn't dodge it. The robot didn't dodge the ball. Instead, its hand shot up and caught the ball. The robotic claw squeezed, and the baseball was crushed into dust, pulverized into a dejected piece of string and leather. Benjamin blinked in surprise. "Okay, you apparently have kung fu grip. Remind me not to shake your hand." Benjamin pulled another baseball from a shelf and tossed it up in the air. This time he didn't aim at the robot's head, but at the cardboard box it still carried in its other arm. "Batter up!" he yelled, hitting the ball with all his might. The baseball flew and struck the cardboard box. The box dropped to the ground and the wet cardboard split open, spilling the contents on the floor. Out of the box spilled thousands of glass marbles. "Home run! The crowd goes wild!" Benjamin cheered. The robot, no longer encumbered by the box, ran toward Benjamin like an enraged bull. Benjamin braced for the impact. Strangely, however, the robot's radar vision failed to see the thousands of marbles rolling around on the ground. Its feet slipped on the marbles, and the metal man landed face first on the floor with a clatter. Benjamin laughed. "Oops! I guess that's what happens when you lose your marbles." The robot tried to get back to its feet, but kept slipping and falling back down. Benjamin looked around and found a heavy golf club. He walked up to the mechanical man and with a mighty swing, knocked the robot's head clean off. The robot head sailed into the air, then landed on the ground at his feet. The robotic body finally stopped moving. Benjamin kicked at the robot to make sure, but it didn't stir. Benjamin picked up a handful of the marbles and looked at them. They were plain, ordinary marbles made of glass with colorful patterns inside them. "Marbles?" Benjamin said. "Why would a mad robot be carrying a box of marbles in a burning toy factory? I don't think kids even play with marbles anymore." In Benjamin's opinion, marbles were the most boring toy ever created. All they did was roll around a bit. They were in the same league as jumping jacks and dominoes. No self-respecting kid with access to a video game machine would ever play with marbles. Just then, Benjamin's watch buzzed. He held it up and spoke. "What is it, Charlie? I'm busy doing big boy detective work down here." It wasn't Charlie, but Benjamin's mother, who showed up on the watch's video feed. Benjamin gulped. Even on the tiny video screen, she looked angry. "Benjamin, impossible!" she yelled. "Stop messing around in that building and get back up here. Your dinner is getting cold." "But Mom," Benjamin whined, "I'm just making sure nobody is trapped inside." "We've already scanned the building. Everyone is out and you're the only one in there. Stop playing around and get back right this instant. The fire department has everything under control." "Fine, Mom," Benjamin said. He knew when he was defeated. "Also, Charlie says you promised to get him a toy. Just grab him something and we'll reimburse the toy company later." Benjamin's face brightened. "Oh, that's right." He looked around. "Does he like marbles?" "What?" his mother said with surprise. "Of course not. You can't give marbles to a baby. He could choke on one. Just find him a video game or something." Benjamin put a handful of marbles in his pocket and looked around for a suitable prize for his little brother. The water ruined most of the cool toys, and Charlie was too small to play sports. Besides, Charlie liked computer games and classical literature. He was really hard to shop for. Benjamin shrugged and picked up the robot's decapitated head. "Maybe he'll like this robot head? It's kind of like a computer." With the robot head under one arm, Benjamin dove out the broken window into the night air, plummeting toward the earth below. He fell toward the ground at a sickening speed. He could see fire trucks surrounding the building with their powerful hoses shooting water into the blaze. People pointed and screamed as the boy fell. Before striking the ground, however, Benjamin hit a button on his ninja suit. A hissing sound filled the air, and his outfit filled up with hyperhelium. The suit expanded, making him look like a bodybuilder with enormous inflated muscles. It swelled even more, and he soon looked like a sumo wrestler, good and chubby. The hyperhelium slowed his descent, then shot him straight up into the air, high above the burning building toward the floating airship he called home. You've reached the end of Chapter 3. Please consider leaving a like below. Then continue on to Chapter 4, The Red Zeppelin.